Welcome to the Fantasy Football Prophet podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprophet.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Prophet podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. And today, we're actually going to do a little follow-up from our mock draft from last week. So we posted it on Instagram, and we got a good reaction, got a lot of comments. So we thought we'd go into it a little bit more and some of the stuff people said and what the teams look like and just, talk about it a little bit, maybe get you some ideas for the upcoming year, because there are some interesting comments in there and some things I want to address too in there. So we'll find out. We'll go over that in just a minute. If you're watching us on YouTube, yeah, it does look like I just came straight out of 2002. So that is no joke. I did. So, you're not like, yeah, I see you over there. I did. I came straight out of 2002. So if you don't follow us on YouTube, you should, right? Go to youtube.com/fantasyfootballprophet. You'll get to see what I'm talking about. So,
yeah. My man has a jersey on, and I love it so much. I really do. No, Marshall Falk too. Anyone that's an old school football lover.
You can't see the cargo shorts going, but hey, those are going too. The khaki cargo shorts, man. I am straight out of 2002.
They are.
It's for sure. So go to youtube.com/fantasyfootballprophet. That gives you a good reason to go over there and check it out. So, all right, mock draft. We did a 12-team half-point PPR mock draft last week. Jeff, I'll run through the teams real quick again.
If you're on YouTube, you'll see them on the screen. If not, we'll run through them.
Yep. Again, another reason to go subscribe to us on YouTube. But Jeff's team starters would be, this is the kind of how we set it up: Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Swift, Chris Godwin, T. Higgins, DJ Chark, J.K. Dobbins would probably be a flex. Maybe, he'd be in there. Dallas Goedert at tight end. The bench of Debo, McCole Hardman, Antonio Brown, Mark Ingram, Darnell Mooney, Denzel Mims. Solid team, I think. My team, on the other hand, I went with, I got Joe Burrow, Zeke, Joe Mixon, Allen Robinson, Kenny Galladay, Odell Beckham, Najee Harris, Kyle Pitts, Travis Etienne, Jamar Chase, Corey Davis, Michael Pittman Jr., Irv Smith Jr., Daniel Jones. So when the comments came through, it kind of went overwhelmingly in my favor.
Yeah, and this is why I want to talk about it too. Like, this is interesting, right, for me, really, because even if we just taking them at face value, besides for the fact that the rookies would be difficult to get in this direction, right? Yep. Like, take that as like, if you actually could get these two teams, I would still take the team I drafted over Craig's. And I'm not saying he doesn't have good players. He has some very, very good players that I would switch with mine. But overall, I would take mine. I don't know actually where you land on that.
So I think it's close because I think we both might like Hurts as a fantasy quarterback more than some people do, because Burrow and Hurts are not much different to me at all. Hurts has that running ability. I'm not sold on Hurts as a quarterback yet, but you saw what he did at the end of the year, and if he's able to scramble, if they give him the job, he's going to get fantasy points.
I actually like Hurts as a fantasy quarterback more than I like Burrow, and I like Burrow a lot, but I'm still
Burrow's coming off a ACL, like it's a big injury, and they did just say, I think today I heard he's full go for
and that's great.
That's great, but still,
even then, you're looking at him as a top tier second quarterback. Yep. In my mind right now, right? Like you're looking at like, oh, if he got into the bottom 10, that would be wonderful. But I'm looking at him in like 12, 13 right now. He's a young guy.
Yep.
Hurts because of the running ability. I do believe that he has the upside. Yep. And it does not mean that he's going to be better. And to be fair, too, also in that draft, I got Jameis Winston is another upside guy. It's not like a guaranteed one. But I think that's an interesting one right away.
Right there.
Well, and this is the thing. I think this is an interesting one to talk about. As far as Jalen Hurst goes, we know that he has Devontae Smith, and then you don't have a ton else to throw to right now, right? You have Dallas Goedert is a legit threat at tight end. He's very, very good. Other than that, wide receiver, you are lacking. There's no doubt about it. But as you talked about, like how good do you feel like? What do you think his ceiling and his floor is?
I think it is. I don't think he can go that low because of that running. If he has no one to throw to, he's just going to end up running the ball. Like he's not, he's going to be, I think, absolute worst case for Jalen Hurts. Worst case, I feel like it's a top, if he plays the whole year, I feel it's like a top 12 quarterback, to be honest. I feel like that's worst case just because of that ability. And, the receivers might not be as bad as we think, because Devontae Smith, let's see if he can play. Hopefully, probably again. Dallas Goedert, Jalen Reagor. I liked him last year quite a bit. He got hurt, didn't really get a chance to do much. We'll see what he does. Travis Fulgham's probably their third receiver at this point. And, he was good for a couple weeks as the number one. He actually played very well. As a 3, I like him. So I don't think the receivers are as bad. But either way, the running ability is going to be there. So I'm going to get, this is going to be, a lot of my teams will have Hurts. That's the thing. I can tell your team right here, I'm going for that kind of look.
This is also why I want to talk about it. It doesn't mean my team, you have to agree that it's better. It does not mean that. But I think the difference between right now and I think later on in the draft season, I think the closer we get to draft, I think my team will be a little more substantial. People will start be swaying that way.
Yep.
Right now you have Ezekiel Elliott, Mixon, Robinson, Galladay, Beckham, a lot of guys that we've seen before, right? And they're all very good. I'm not taking anything away from them. But it's interesting, right? Because I think on my team, even though maybe you don't have those brand recognition names, you do have a lot of guys that if you dig into the numbers have been very productive in short spurts, which is not everything, but still. So Jalen Hurst, if you look from week 13 to 16, it's only 4 weeks, but it's at the end of the year when he actually got to play. Yep. He was number 6 quarterback. He was averaging almost 0.01 away from 22 points per game. So that would put him, that's in the likes of, he was only below, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Ryan Tannehill, Aaron Rodgers, and Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, a surprise to everyone, right, at the end of the year. But at the same time, those other 4 guys are legit. We've talked about Tannehill how many times. Aaron Rodgers, obviously a Pro Bowl guy. Lamar Jackson, when he gets going, there's almost no one better. Maybe Mahomes. And Josh Allen, which was a freak last year. So the fact that he was nearly a top 5 guy in those last weeks, I think is saying something. It does not mean he has to play perfectly because he did not. He did not at all. And he didn't have a lot of weapons either. He did have Ertz. He did have Goddard. Other than that, though, who did you have to throw to?
Not much.
And he ran. Yep. And so that was my first one. I love Burrow, don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But that was a big one.
Well, I'll take the top 3 running back group. Let's go there.
First of all, and off the top of your dome, do you like yours or mine better?
I like yours better.
Okay, thank you.
So I actually do. So it's Saquon for Jeff. Jeff has Saquon, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins as his top 3 backs. Mine are Zeke, Mixon, and Najee Harris. I really do like your backs better because at this point we do have Saquon coming off an injury, right? Mm-hmm. He's still Saquon though. So that's the issue. Yeah. That's the iffy one. Then you got, I think, up and coming DeAndre Swift and J.K. Dobbins. I think they're just only on the way up. My end, you got Zeke, who very clearly wasn't as good last year. Even though I drafted him, I'm not sure what to think. I don't know if I'll draft Zeke, honestly, when money's on the line and we're in a real draft, right? Could that be the wall? Could Zeke have hit that wall last year and it's just done? 2 years ago, would you have thought that about Todd Gurley? Would you have thought that about Le'Veon Bell? You don't. It happens. It happens quick to these guys, and you're not expecting it. Todd Gurley and Le'Veon Bell 2-3 years ago, those were the top guys, and now they're just nothing. Zeke could have hit that wall. That could be risky. My second, Joe Mixon, he truly hasn't done it yet. All that potential, and it's been 3 years of, at least of just 4 years of whatever of just waiting for more. And then Najee Harris, people, shiny new thing, right? Everyone likes it. Should be good. I think he's in a good spot. I think he should be good. But it's a rookie who is unproven. So I do like yours a little better.
Yeah, and once again, I think we have to dig into the numbers because I think that's very important. And J.K. Dobbins, we both love him. Craig has been as big of a lover of J.K. Dobbins as I have. And he was in the last half of the year. Remember, he wasn't the number 1 running back. That was Ingram. Yep. Technically. Yep. J.K. Dobbins split with 2 other people. Gus Edwards, a very capable back. Ingram, who put up big numbers before, has been a very good back. The second half of year, from week 8 to week 16, he was the 12th best back in fantasy. Yep. And that is, once again, that was not the offense hitting all cylinders. That was also not him having the bulk of the workload. That was before all of that. Yep. So that is pretty amazing. That is also why we're huge on him being a top 10 back and saying dude, Ingram's not there anymore. He's going to be the number one. We also believe that the offense is going to be on the right track. They're going to they'll get it together. They'll tighten things up a little bit. 12-8 is not that crazy of a thing. And I believe he'll be up there. And then DeAndre Swift, he's an interesting one because he's been hurt on and off. So you can't get like a constant, like, okay, here's week, whatever but he was incredibly productive when he was in there.
Yep.
And he is guaranteed number one.
I think they're going to run the ball a lot. It feels like Dan Campbell that's what he wants to do.
Yes.
And you got Jared Goff as a quarterback. You really do want to make this more game manager and more ground game, right?
100%.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking there.
Our mascot is yawning, but 100%. So and that's going to be the wonderful part. Not only did they bolster their offensive line with getting the best offensive lineman in the draft. You have a wonderful center. You have a good left tackle. I don't know if Sewell's going to be left or right, but either way, you're going to have the tackles and the center are going to be fine. Guards, good enough. They're going to have a very good line, and they're going to want to run the ball. He is going to be the number one. Adrian Peterson, I don't believe is there anymore.
He's gone. It's going to be gone. Jamal Williams will be there.
Yes, Jamal Williams. I'm sorry. Yes. So they're
going to run the ball. I mean, Dan Campbell's a crazy person. He wants to bring a pet lion to the practice facility now.
Awesome, even better. By any caps, I don't care. I'm all in on the. If I know they're gonna get reps in that offense, I'm gonna draft them. Yep. And that's why I like Amon-Ra too. Like,
right. I like your backs better. I mean, mine could work out. I don't hate them at all, but it's just
no, they're good.
Zeke, I worry about Zeke and hitting that wall. I just worry that that it could have happened.
Yes.
And I just.
Well, also you have first of all, you're paying Dak Prescott a lot of money coming off of an injury. You also have an insanely talented wide receiving crew.
Mike McCarthy, he wants to throw the ball. That's just what he's done. So
he was not able to run the ball productively last year at all. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. And that is unfortunate because Zeke is as talented as they get.
Yep.
And he's a good one. Do I want him on my team? 100%.
Yep.
Mixon, do I want him on my team? 100%. I think he's very talented, but he also comes with a lot of drawbacks. And then you have Najee Harris, which I think people
he'd be good, but we don't know what it is.
Yes, you're automatically giving him like a top 20 running back.
Top 15, they're saying.
Yes,
I mean,
but
I just don't know yet.
At the same time,
got to see it.
The line is not. They have not proved anything yet.
Yep, we got to see it.
So I think it's very interesting. I think I have more upside.
Yep.
And then the wide receiver is a very interesting one.
So I think I do like my receivers better here.
I think I would give you the edge, but I don't think they're that far off.
So you have Godwin, Higgins, Chark, and I have Allen Robinson, Galladay, Beckham. So here's the interesting part. Robinson, if Justin Fields is the quarterback, we don't know if that can work. If he's not, if Andy Dalton's a quarterback, I mean, what's that?
Yes.
Like,
I do have to say, I think Robinson might be the safest one out here.
I hope he is. But it's, again, no sure thing. Kenny Galladay, same thing. He's new team. We just don't.
We don't know what Daniel Jones is.
No.
And we don't know. And Galladay is great down the field. I actually don't know. Like, yes, I'll give him that, to Slayton. He has been able to throw it down the field a little bit, but it's a very different kind of wide receiver. I'm not exactly sure. I do think both of them will be productive, but we don't know at what extent. And to mine, I think the only downfall with the ones that we're throwing out there is like Godwin is my number one. Yes, I mean everyone knows how talented Godwin is, but there's a lot of guys there.
That's the issue.
So we're not exactly sure. What is that going to be? Is he just a solid number two? I mean it might turn into that.
And then with T. Higgins, it's they drafted Jamar Chase, obviously, and AJ Green's gone, but they drafted. See, that's one thing I got an argument actually on somewhere on Instagram with people on that is Jamar Chase is just going to come in and T. Higgins is just going down because all those targets. All the targets are there they're there for Jamar Chase. He's going to take AJ Green's targets.
We've talked about this. We've talked about this a lot, and this is why I'm so high on T. Higgins. And even though that Jamar Chase came, I'm not off of him because
AJ Green had over 100 targets.
Yes, 100 targets, over 100 targets, and he hardly did anything with them. I think caught 40 some balls. T. Higgins can still get his. And guess what? T. Higgins is still 6'3", 6'4" of a wide receiver. He's going to be great in the end zone. Jamar Chase is still a rookie. Do I think he could be good? Maybe he's even better than T. Higgins come halfway through the season. I don't personally care. You could get both of them on your team. T. Higgins was not a stretch for me to get. I think he is going to be kind of a guy that's forgotten about. I love the value, and I'll go through every single guy on my team. I love them so much because they're all value. Besides Barkley, and he was the one that I wanted to get the least.
And DJ Chark's interesting. He's really. I mean, last year played 13 games. He had 53 for 706. He didn't have a quarterback, so this will be. He's an interesting one. He could really jump up if that talent's there, which people seem to think. He had a good year too, and we'll see what happens with Chark. My 3 is Odell Beckham, which again, can he come back from injury? I don't mind. I think Beckham as a 3 is a good. I like the risk. I'm fine with the risk at 3.
At wide receiver 3.
One of the comments here was I'd take my grandma over Odell Beckham.
That's funny.
The guy wrote so many other options. Yeah, there's other options, but you know what? I'll take a potential. If Odell Beckham could become Odell Beckham one more time, and he's my number 3, I love that.
First of all, you don't even need Odell Beckham. You need, if he could be a
version of him.
If he's a top 20, top 15, whatever. Yeah. And I'll say this too, DJ Chark, I know that he is I could have gotten someone else that would probably be more high profile at that pick. But if you believe in Lawrence at all, which I have to believe in him more than I did the previous quarterback, right? I mean, I liked him, but whatever. But DJ Chark in 2019. So once again, you're also talking about a short offseason, a very strange year. So 2019, when you have a full year of practicing, and it was still Minshew at quarterback, he was the number 12 overall wide receiver.
Yep.
Number 12. And now you're going to have Urban Meyer. You know that he's going to want to, how many times have you seen him just, and I know it's very different. First of all, I don't want to hear that. I know it's college to the NFL league. I totally get it. But at the same time, it's how many times have you seen him just throw and throw and throw to the number 1 wide receiver they have? DJ Chark is that number 1 wide receiver. There's no one that comes close to him right now.
Yep.
So as a number 3, the upside is tremendous to me. Even if he wasn't number 12, if he was a top 20 guy, that is a great pick. And all 3 of my guys, I can't see DJ Chark, okay. But T. Higgins and Godwin, I can't see falling out of the top 20. Well, I just don't see it.
Here we go. The Wiz _520 says, is this Jeff's first draft?
See,
no value in that wide receiver group.
See, that is mind-blowing to me. And this is why I wanted to do a quick episode on this, because it doesn't bother me that, if you think that
it doesn't bother you that the Wiz doesn't like your team?
Yeah, the Wiz. No, I mean, but the fact that that if they wanted to say your team was better, I get that. You have Zeke, you have some substantial guys. I totally get it. But I do believe that we're putting too much emphasis on what they've done in the past, and it has been a quicker and quicker progression of who scores points in this league, especially when it comes to running back. And that is the specific one that really kills it. Wide receiver, I think we can go tit for tat. I think I can say, okay, I would rather technically have yours, but I can't have them if I want to get the running backs I have, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. And then you go tight end. Goddard, Ertz is holding out. That is a...
I'm surprised he's still on the team. I don't know what's going on with
golden
this
pick. I mean,
are they waiting to release him till after a deadline or something?
My guess.
June 1 or whatever it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the crazy part. But I think that is why I really want to talk about it, because it's true that Jalen Hurst as quarterback is a risky one. But at the same time, I got Jameis on my team already. I can pick someone else. My running backs are rock solid. My wide receivers are, first of all, T. Higgins and Godwin are going to be good no matter what. So what? I just have to come up with one more. Antonio Brown I have on the team too, because you can get him incredibly late.
Who knows? A full year now. Let's see what we can do.
So honestly, even with all of that said, I know that Craig has more established players. I think this is going to be the year.
Well, somewhat. I have this weird
big breakdown.
I have this weird mix of some established players and then these young guys. Which I think honestly, my guess is I think the young guys are what has driven people to say that, for Ross Ryan, Craig's team is better. Hunter Lane, Craig's team is insane. My burner bro, Craig's team A+. Steven Chalmers, Craig's team is better. Go on and on. But you know what? I think everybody falls way too in love with young guys.
Well, I even saw one that said too many rookies.
And that was from Jason. I agree with you, Jason.
Yes.
It was a mock draft. I go with the. Yes. I did go too many. I don't think that's the way to go.
No, but also,
I want some, but not all.
Well, I take that back. First of all, you're not going to be able to do what Craig did in that draft. Like you won't get. He had Etienne and he had Najee Harris. There's no way. You also had Pitts, and we joked when we did this episode. I was like, he picked a different tight end. He picked Irv, and I was like,
Irv
Pitts
was the guy I was
there.
going to go. Yeah, so Irv Smith would have been my tight end there.
So first of all, you can't do that. But even if they were on the team, I would still take mine because I think I have more maneuverability when you come to a starting lineup and then where you go from there. I think yours is like if Zeke and Mixon do what they did last year, which is a quite possibility, I think all of a sudden, like, you have a whole different outlook on it. Even Burrow. Like, I'm not sure right now, if I'm being completely honest. I love Burrow and I love Mixon. I like them both as players. But when it comes to fantasy, can both of them succeed on the same team in year 2 for Burrow? I don't know that yet. I really don't. I don't know if Burrow would be a top 10 quarterback, which is the only thing right now that you can, if he's going to play the majority of the year, he has to be a top 10. Otherwise, that pick does not matter.
Yep. So, and then I'll just one of the last, that Darnell Mooney pick of yours, I think Darnell Mooney is going to be good. He's getting me like, not saying like on how they play, but Chris Godwin vibes from how I felt about Chris Godwin after year 1, a guy who was, not obviously one of the first picks in the draft, but just kind of something about him seemed like he was going to go there. He was going to be good. And Mooney's giving me those kind of vibes.
Yes, I love Mooney too, and we both are a big fan of his. But with the drafting of Justin Fields, that was the only reason why I felt comfortable picking him, because with Justin Fields' arm, assuming he's going to be the starter, I think that he will be more of a weapon than other wide receivers that could possibly come around as he's playing. But that's a big what if. Like, Justin Fields really has to be a legit quarterback. So that's why he's obviously on the bench, but it's a very, I don't know. There's a lot to go through on here, but I think it's an interesting talk because we're so early in the year and we're starting to try to figure out who's who. I think you'll start hearing more and more stories about this guy's playing well, this guy's not, blah, blah, blah. But I want to say right now is like, last year is going to be, is not a good measuring stick.
Last year was
weird. Yeah. So I think when you're talking about this, look at the youth is definitely going to come up very, very quickly.
Yep. So, all right. I think that'll do it for today. We'll be back next week with some more for you. Talk to you guys then.